Good morning, everyone. And it's Wednesday, halfway through the week. Beautiful, beautiful sunny day. Amazing spring day. It was gorgeous yesterday, a bit windy, but hey, that happens. But today is beautiful, beautiful and warm. So we're going to continue going ahead with houseplants. And I thought today a subject we get a lot of, people who come in a lot and ask about repotting their houseplants. So I thought we'd talk today about exactly that, about repotting a houseplant, what it entails, why do we do it, and everything else. And honestly, it's not really that important to me. I just wanted to make a mess. We haven't made a mess yet once. It's all chalkboard and formal and stuff. So I already got my soil. I got 2 different types of soil because I'm transplanting 2 different types of plant. But we'll get to that. As of right now, I already made a mess too. As you can see, just getting ready to make my mess, I made a mess. And as always, yeah, if you're going to follow along at home, I do apologize. I make a mess because I can. But when I do it in my house, I do try and be a little bit cleaner. So the main reason we repot is because our plants grow. We keep them healthy, we keep them alive, we give them what they need. We touched on that yesterday. The correct light, the correct fertilizer, the correct moisture. We help treat them from pathogens, disease, and pests and whatnot. And as a result, they grow, which is what we want them to do. But therein lies the problem. As they grow, they need a bigger pot. So I can show you here on these 2 little spider plants here. So they look healthy. They are healthy. They're amazing. They're going to need a new home pretty soon. And what ends up happening is as those roots go, they get root bound. And as they get root bound, and here's the one I'm actually going to transplant today, and I've already loosened it. And you can see just how tight those roots are. Well, what ends up happening is as those roots grow, they push soil up and out, or it comes out through the holes there. I'm going to put it back in here so my roots aren't exposed. And now the soil, the remaining soil, is so densely packed with roots, it can't hold the same amount of moisture. Ergo, it can't hold the same amount of fertilizer. So the plant starts deteriorating after a while. So you want to put it in fresh soil. Then, of course, there's also some plants, and maybe they're not root bound. Maybe they're doing great, but they've been, maybe they've maxed out. They're not going to get any bigger, but they've been in the same soil now for a year, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years. I've talked about it before, but the ficus I'm doing at my house this year, it desperately needs to be repotted. There's nothing wrong with the pot, but the soil is so tired. I've done everything I can with amendments and fertilizers. Now I need a fresh base and I need some good fresh earth to get in there and give those roots some nutrients. So that is really the main reason why we do it is to keep the plant healthy, be that allow it to grow, or if it's kind of maxed out its growth, to give it some fresh nutrients to allow it to uptake, to keep its overall health. So what we're going to do is pick the plant you're doing, and there's all different kinds. I grabbed these. So we've got good old generic tropical plant mix, works for a slew of things. So I'm going to use that for the spider plant. That's what's in my big pot. Then we've got cactus and succulent mix. I'm not going to do one of them today. I couldn't find one that was root bound enough. So I said, okay, we'll just do these ones. And we've got African violet, which is this beauty. And I've already got my African violet soil ready. I prepped everything earlier. That's why I made a mess. So that I was ready because we do have a limited time. So try and use the right soil. Now, a lot of times people will buy soil. Maybe they don't got a lot of room to store it and whatnot. You can play around with them. Maybe you can get away with putting your African violet in a succulent soil. Maybe you can get away with putting your spider plant in an African violet soil and play around. But you may find that the water requirements are different. Maybe the succulent soil dries out too quick. So now you have to water 3 times a week. And that's not written in stone. These are just as ifs. And what you'll find is that, you know, maybe the requirements are not the same. Health reasons, they should be okay. But, oh, look at this guy too. It's putting out a shoot. So this shoot here, if everybody can see, is going to turn into babies. So it's going to put out flowers. Then the flowers are going to turn into baby spider plants. So that's good that I'm putting this in some new soil. If you can, use the correct soil for your plant. If you can't, I've cheated with every different type under the sun. I've put succulents in potting soil. I've put spider plants in succulent soil. And yeah, the water requirements are different, but it's a fresh soil. So what you're going to do is, as always, these are nice, soft plastic pots. And we're just going to gently loosen around. All we're going to do is just loosen it, support the crown of the plant so you can see where my hand is. Then I'm just going to flip it, give a squeeze, and out it lifts. And it really is just that easy. You don't want to mangle it. You don't want to do anything. If it is so root bound you can't get it off, pair of scissors, cut it off. You don't want to damage the roots. Now I'm going to put it in my new pot. So that's a 4-inch pot. I'm going to a 6-inch. Now, a lot of people go, well, if I've got to repot it anyway, it was already in here, well, I may as well skip this step and go straight to this one. Not a great idea. A lot of times what can happen is these roots are being kept nice and tight. And they don't mind being root bound. Like I said, look at them all. They're all so healthy. They're certainly not being, it's not detrimental to them. But putting it in too big of a pot, well, now those roots aren't tight anymore and they start losing their structure. They can go into shock and that can have an adverse effect. So it's always good to just go up one size, 4-inch to 6-inch, 6-inch to 8-inch, 8-inch to 12-inch, so on. So we're going to get rid of it. I just brought that to show you the difference. You get rid of that. I'm going to put my African violet soil there, or as I call it, a frickin' violet. I nickname all my plants like his biscuits, a frickin' violet. Anyway, I digressed. What a surprise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick him in, and all I'm doing there is I'm measuring the height. Okay? So I know that that's about 1 inch low, maybe 1.5 inches. So gently put it there. I'm just going to take a handful, drop it in. And again, I'm not compacting. I'm just using the back of my hand and I'm just firming it down. All I want to do is give a root base, one hard shock with my hand and it's loose again. Okay? I see people, they're briefing on it with their fist. It's too much. If you're doing that much pressure, it's overkill. You want those roots to get into the new soil. You're not trying to create a barrier for entry. So we're going to loosen that out. Okay, and we're just going to gently tap it down. That's all I'm doing. Now I'm going to lift my plant again, not damaging anything, setting it in perfect height. Perfect height. So I'm going to put it roughly in the center. You don't have to. If for whatever reason you want your plant super close to this edge, maybe you're putting 2 plants in the same pot, 3 plants in the same pot. Might want to go closer to the edge for aesthetics and whatnot. I'm just going to go to the center like that. Now I'm just going to take, relatively small handfuls of my soil, and I'm just going to pack it around. And again, as I go, I'm just lightly tucking it down. Okay. And if I need to, as you can see, I'm supporting my plant so it doesn't fall over. After I get my first layer in, and you can see I'm literally using 1 or 2 fingers. I'm not using my whole hand. I'm not trying to get my fist in there. I'm just very gently doing it. As I go, I'm cleaning my loose excess soil off the crown. Just like an outdoor plant, I want it to be the same level. I don't want it to be too deep. It's going to suffocate my plant. I don't want my root system too up. Roots want to be in the ground. The sunlight, the dry air are going to desiccate those roots. It's not going to have a good time. So I'm gently just going around. Take another handful. And as you can see, as I go, I tend to get braver and grab bigger handfuls. All that's going to do is make a mess. Okay? Again, I'm not too worried about it. Easy to clean up. And again, I'm just firming it down. I'm just firming it down. And once you get to here, so you can see now, let me lift that up. All of my roots are covered, but you can see I've got a little hill there. So what I'll do is I'll take this soil here, I'm just gonna sprinkle that around, and all I want it to be is just nice and even. I don't want it to be buried. And you can see, like I said, I'm not zero compaction. All I'm doing is making sure I've got no air pockets. And what I'm doing is I'm just very, very carefully evening it out. I'm not damaging any roots. I'm not doing anything like that. And that's it. I've got enough of a dip. My water isn't going to overflow. As you can see, I can hold it sideways. It's firm. My plant isn't falling over or falling out. And my soil is staying in. Same thing. So we're going to get rid of this now. We're going to get rid of our tropical soil. And I'm going to bring out my African violet soil. I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, I'm loosening the pot. Flip, I'm supporting my plant always. Voila. So this one, not even that root bound. Great. I'm going to use this one as the example of what to do for a fresh soil. So again, I'm going to put it in. Now I know the height because it's a 4-inch. Measure it out like the other one. I'm going to put it there. Now again, much like your outdoor plants, if you can avoid doing this while it's in bloom, that is the best. But if you have to do it in bloom, time, health, whatever the reason, go for it. We're going to go quick with this one because I don't want to shock. So look, I put that in. Now that I measure it out, it's a little bit high. It's a little bit high. No problem. Lift it out again, nice and gentle. And I'm just going to do a little bit more on the soil. Put it out. I'm going to put it back in. Perfect height. Okay? So again, small handfuls, lifting my foliage because I don't want to bury it. And I just go around nice and even. And again, don't want to shock it. I don't want to hurt these fruits. I don't want to compact it. And I certainly don't want to make it so that I'm doing this to inspire root growth and health. If I'm damaging the roots, if I'm pushing on the roots and you can hear that break, and I've done it before, I'm moving too fast. I'm not paying attention. The root system was bigger than I thought. Whatever the reason might be, I was a rookie. Whatever the reason might be, I have made the mistakes. And that's why I teach you guys. I've made every mistake there is to make. I've damaged plants, I've killed plants, and I've done it successfully. Thankfully, I've done it successfully more times than I've screwed it up. That's an important thing I think I need to bring up. Now I'm just firming it in. Yeah, I got a couple of low spots. So a small handful again. Again, you can see I'm just gently moving the foliage, not reefing it back. I'm trying not to shock my plants. Same thing, you can see all the time I'm using 1 or 2 fingers at the most. And I go around, firm it in, again, not compacting, make sure all my foliage is lifted, clean it off, voila. I feel like doing like the Dairy Queen where they flip it upside down, but I think that would just end badly. So that's literally all it takes to repot a plant. And those two now, I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want to make a mess. Best thing to do, always clean up before you water. This is nice and easy to clean up, turn that into mud, different story. And all I'm going to do is give them a gentle water and we'll be good to go. So that wraps it up. And then keep this. This spider plant is about to put out babies. Guess what? That's perfect for a new baby. You propagate the baby, it gets roots, bit of soil, bam, you got your soil ready to go. So you can just keep the whole system going. So that wraps us up today. I hope that helps you guys out with potting your house plants. Good luck. Have fun. Any questions ever, take pictures. Hit us up. Our DMs are open. Emails are open. And we love to hear from you guys. Enjoy the sun. Have a wonderful Wednesday. And we'll see you guys tomorrow talking about pathogens and keeping your plants healthy. Bye, everyone.